everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. So, Foodie Beauty has not surfaced yet on YouTube, but just because she hasn't surfaced on YouTube doesn't mean she hasn't been busy. I'm going to give you some Twitter peeps and show you guys what's going on Twitter. I've been keeping an eye on Twitter, and a lot of people have been catching that Chantal is active on Cameo once again. She's back to doing cameos. So just because she's not on YouTube doesn't mean she's not doing anything. I'm sure that she's doing all the cameos that she can, and perhaps even the Foodie content as well offline, just trying to make a little bit of extra cash. So also on Twitter, on the Twitter peeps, you'll see there has been a brief update about Bruce, his mother, his sibling. They're getting prepared to be flown into the United States or to North America. You'll see that in the Twitter peeps. How about a word about Foodie, though? Let's talk about Miss Foodie. Because in the Twitter peeps, you guys are going to see Foodie's got the wrong impression about what's going on in Kuwait. She thinks that she's going to get sued. No, Foodie, you're not going to get sued. They're not suing you for monetary gains. They're going for criminal charges because you broke laws over there. And a lot of them. Just working over in Kuwait while you were supposed to be a tourist, accepting donations for the longest. I mean, the list is long. The can of worms is deep, and they're probably going to go deep. And Pause Kuwait did say to us that they would give an update on that after Eid was over. So I imagine there's going to be something about that tomorrow. We might find out more information tomorrow. And maybe that's another reason why Chantal's not been online, because maybe she's waiting to see what's happening. In the meantime, she's doing her cameos. She's doing the Foodie requests. And also, she's been quite busy on her sock accounts, making all kinds of interesting comments. But there's just so much stuff to show you guys on Twitter. And I know a lot of people are itching to see where she's going to turn up. Here's what I got to say about that. I feel this is the calm before the storm. We should all enjoy the relaxation time while we still got it. Because when Chantal comes back, and if she comes out of the gate hot, and she's going full throttle, the way she did during Crackhead Olympics, no one, and I mean no one, who's a reactor, an archive channel, a clip channel, none of us are going to get any sleep. For any of the OGs that were there during Crackhead Olympics, you guys remember, it was a lot keeping up with Foodie. It was practically a full-time job, and we weren't getting paid. It was nuts. So for those people that are wondering, where is Chantal? I say, just be patient. Just be patient. She'll come out when she's ready to come out. And then we're going to go full speed ahead. But until then, let's enjoy the quiet. Let's enjoy the relaxation, checking out other channels, doing other things, because once the hurricane hits, it's going to be a whirlwind all over again. So enough gabbing from me. How about we just get into the Twitter peeps, shall we? Let's go. All right, so there's not a whole lot of stuff to go over. I'm just trying to stay caught up before Chantal goes crazy when she pops up again. And then I'm sitting here reacting for 6 to 8 hours a day and losing my mind and losing my sleep and losing weight. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to that at all. It wasn't fun. But there is some stuff to go over, and I do want to stay caught up. So let's just do this doggone thing. Hold on a minute. Let me just switch on over. I'm ready. I came prepared to class. Yes, I did. All right. So for those of you that are on Twitter, that you would like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you that are not on Twitter, that's why I do the Twitter peeps. That way you guys can see what's going on without actually having to physically be there. All right. So first tweet from Excellent Boiled Potatoes saying, I just thought of something. If Foodie Beauty is back in Canada land, think of how miserable poor Buster must be. Oh, that poor dog. Buster hates Chantal so much. Poor Buster. Buster can't stand Foodie. Before Girl World, before any reactor, he is the first hater of Chantal. And if Chantal is staying with mom and dad, her being around all the time is making Buster very unhappy. I'm sure he's growled at her more than once. So let's give it up for poor Buster, this poor thing. He probably looks at Chantal every day and thinks to himself, why is she still here? When is she leaving? When can I get the house back with my mom and dad? She's not gone yet? Why not? Poor Buster. All right. Nana Spike T says, how could she ever show her face again would be beyond me. Everything she tried convincing people of has turned out to be fake. All the speculations seem to have been on point. She's made a bigger fool of herself. So this is kind of an older clip of Chantal when she was in Kuwait. This is courtesy of Acadia Strong saying, here's a little refresher. And this is Chantal putting down Canada. Just putting down Canada. Putting down the people, putting down the Western world, just putting down everybody. So let's hear her complaints and see if they're valid. I don't think they are, but let's just see. Tell me what's on your mind, Foodie. What are you saying over there? Okay, so the first part is her saying, I'm not going to Canada. I'm not stepping near the freaking Western world. We're not going to Canada. We don't want to live there, okay? It's a poop hole. I don't like paying taxes. No, I don't like the government taking all of our money. Sorry. Thanks a lot. All right. So let's go over that. Let's go over what she said. Take the first part of that paragraph and just throw it away. Let's focus on this right here, this part down here. I don't like paying taxes. That's the important part. She doesn't like paying taxes. She makes money in Canada, or she did until she moved to Kuwait, but she doesn't want to pay her taxes there. She's still got a bankruptcy on her record that I'm sure is not all the way paid for. If she had started paying for that bankruptcy at the beginning of her time in Kuwait, it might be all the way paid off by now if she had been responsible, but I'm sure she hasn't been. And maybe that's why they're looking for her. And that's why she's afraid to go back to Canada and put her name on anything, on an apartment, on a car, on anything, on any kind of property. If she's back in Canada, I am 1000% certain that if she gets an apartment, it's going to be in somebody else's name. If she gets a car, it's going to be in somebody else's name. There's going to be nothing in her name to make it harder for the government to find her. But all these complaints about Canada. Okay, let's go over this again. I'm not going to Canada. I'm sure Canada is thrilled to hear that. I'm not stepping near the freaking Western world. And you had to fly back there because you messed things up in Kuwait. We're not going to Canada. We don't want to live there. Salah wanted to live there. Oh, he wanted to live there very badly. And he thought you were the golden road to get there. But he thought wrong. This part right here, it's a crap hole. I disagree. I strongly disagree with that. I've seen pictures of Canada. It's breathtaking. How dare you? I don't like the government taking all of our money. They don't take all of your money. They just take their portion. But you're stingy, Chantal. You don't want to give up their portion to them as you should. You want to keep it all to yourself and spend it on men and spend it on food and party favors. But keep going. What else you got to say?
I'm not going to Canada. I'm not stepping near the fucking Western world. We're not going to Canada. We don't want to live there. Okay? It's a shithole. I don't like paying taxes. No, I don't like the government taking all our money. Sorry. There's a lot of people leaving Canada as expats. Do you like paying, if you make 100K a year, do you like paying $35,000 in tax?
I'm sure nobody does. I'm sure a lot of people would love it if they had no taxes to pay. That's just what you got to do, ma'am. Oh, I went backwards. So sorry.
I'm not going to Canada. I'm not stepping near the fucking Western world. We're not going to Canada. We don't want to live there. Okay? It's a
You know, she says, we don't want to live there. But I wonder if Salah had a viable way to get to Canada himself alone, if that were doable, if he wouldn't be on the next plane to Canada or to the United States. I bet you he would. I bet he would if he could do it that way instead of going through her or trying to go through her.
a shithole. I don't like paying taxes. No, I don't like the government taking.
I don't like paying taxes. I don't like paying taxes. But here's the funny thing, Chantal. In a roundabout sort of way, you have been paying taxes, just not to the government. I mean, when you were going to Club Natter, wasn't that sort of a Natter tax? I mean, every time you showed up, you had to have party favors, liquor, food, paying the rent, pay the phone bill, paying for the internet, pay for a laptop, pay for his clothes, pay for expensive trips. Isn't that a sort of tax? That every time you hung out with Natter, you had to pay and keep paying? You never could stop paying? And wasn't it the same way with Salah? Yeah. Yeah, so you paid a Natter tax and you paid a Salah tax to two men that made you absolutely miserable. So if you're all about paying the men, why can't you pay the government?
All our money. Sorry. There's a lot of people leaving Canada as expats. Do you like paying, if you make 100K a year, do you like paying $35,000 in tax when you still have shit healthcare?
Stop right there and have a seat, Chantal. You say it's crap healthcare. But during Crackhead Olympics, how many times were you abusing the healthcare system? How many times did you needlessly go to the ER for content, for sympathy? You would run your mouth and pop off to your beezers and be rude to them and do some nonsense. And then when you would get in trouble with your own subscribers to get the heat off of you, you would go to the ER for sympathy and try to change the vibe. You're wasting everybody's time at the hospital with those emergency room visits. How many times did you go to the emergency room when you would do return trips from Kuwait to Canada and you would have your B moments, and almost every single one of them ended up where? Say it with me, the Chinese buffet. You go eat at the Chinese buffet, and then like clockwork, as soon as you were done at the buffet, you were right at the ER because your blood sugar levels would be through the roof. You'd be eating way too much salt. They had to put fluids in you. So you took advantage of the healthcare system. Full advantage. So I don't think that Canada has crappy healthcare. I disagree.
And yeah, the cops are useless. What, are you happy with that?
Again, I strongly disagree about the cops in Canada being useless. Maybe you think that they're useless because you couldn't manipulate the legal system for revenge when you made up charges against Nads. And no, I don't like the dude. I don't like him at all. He's a scumbag too. He can jump in the same dumpster as you and shut the lid. Both of you are trash. But I'm just saying, right is right and wrong is wrong. You were angry, you were mad, you were jealous, and you were impatient for Dee Dee to leave Natter in Gatineau. She stayed over there for well over a month, and you were foaming at the mouth for her to leave. And you became desperate. You didn't know what to do. So you decided to go to the police station and make the threat that you were going to press charges on him, hoping that Didi would get scared and she would go back to Montreal and Nader would be alone in Gatineau and you could just go waddle over there and knock on his front door. It was all about getting alone time with Nader. So are you calling cops useless just because you can't treat them like toys or pawns on a chessboard to do as you wish? Well, that's not what the legal system is for. That's not what the cops are for, Chantal.
They tax the crap out of you. I have free healthcare. I went to a clinic here. You know what it cost me for medication and treatment? Several forms of treatment? $3. Also, my medications are a lot cheaper here, actually. By half.
This is her like humble bragging. Oh, look at me. I'm over in Kuwait and my medications are so much cheaper. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. All of you people in the Western world pay way too much for medication. Here's where your bragging goes wrong, Foodie. See, yes, you are getting medication, but you're also misusing your medications. You've got what, 3 different types of diabetic medication and insulin, something that wasn't the case before you left Canada to go to Kuwait the first time. In the space of 3 years, you ended up on 3 max dose diabetic medications and insulin. But you're not using those things to treat your diabetes, to manage it. You're using your medications to manage your B moments. You're abusing them. And because you are, they're really not going to work too well for you. And you're over there playing around with the amount of insulin you're putting in yourself like a fool.
Price. I have no interest in going back there. The feelings I have there compared.
Well, she's interested now, isn't she? As soon as she got in trouble, she was interested. Our girl was interested. Our girl was interested. She's like, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. There might be charges brought against me. Oh, I'm getting on that plane tonight. Tonight. And I just want to point this out. There's a pattern here. There's a definite pattern, ladies and gentlemen, with her and men and being forced to leave. Let's go over the pattern with some of the men in Chantal's life. So Bibi, her ex, good guy, hard work and all that. In order for Chantal to leave him alone, he had to physically move somebody into the house with him. And then there's Nader. What happened with Nader? He had to move to Montreal with Didi to get Chantal to halfway leave him alone. And now we have Salah. And what did it take? It took her getting in serious trouble with the Kuwaiti government and breaking their laws for her to leave him. This woman has obsessive stalker ways. She is not that woman that she will look at a man and say, it's not working between us. This business arrangement, it's just not working. I'm losing more money than I'm making. We're both miserable. How about we just cut ties calmly, reasonably? And I go back home and you go your way and I'll go my way. She doesn't think that way. Her wires are crossed all weird. She believes in hanging on to people. She will not let you go. You have to force her to go away because she's not going to do it on her own. Like it took getting in trouble with the Kuwaiti government for her to finally go back home. It just took that much. And I would like to say to you, Chantal, it did not have to be this way. It didn't have to go this far. You could have left long time ago. Or better yet, you shouldn't have left in the first place. You should not have gone to Kuwait. You could have stayed in the villa with the cats, with Peeps, taking care of yourself, taking care of the cats, got yourself together, and done well. This whole thing in Kuwait was stupid. You lost so much money. It's been so boring for Girl World. It doesn't make any sense. Your health is worse than it's ever been. You're heavier than you've ever been. I mean, there's been absolutely no benefit. None. None. And I'm so glad the Kuwait arc is over. We're so done with this crap. We've been so patient, Girl World. Oh, we got the patience of saints over here. Keep going, Foodie. What else you got to say?
Here to here? No, I'm not. I don't like Canada. I don't have to. You're allowed to like Canada all you want.
You know what? She says, I don't like Canada. But when she was there, she was enjoying herself, was she not? Enjoying all the freedoms. The freedom to go to dispensary whenever she wanted. The freedom to buy all the fast food that she wanted. The freedom to film wherever she wanted. Sit in her room and smoke the green sticks all day. Do ridiculous amounts of edibles. Say whatever she wanted. Oh, she was enjoying all the freedoms. She only says she doesn't like Canada because she screwed up and she got behind on her taxes, and now the tax man cometh. And they are saying, we want our money. She dug herself into a nice deep little hole, and there's really no way out except to pay, and she doesn't want to. Well, that's her problem. That's a shame.
But I don't. How do I want to utilize the system, Pepperminty? Don't even live there, so try again. What, having a right to healthcare? That's me wanting to utilize the system? Anywhere you live in the world, you have a right to healthcare. Give me a break. Guess what? I'm never going back to Canada.
I'm going to save this clip. And if she pops back up in Canada, I'm making an intro with this. Best believe I'm going to make an intro with that right there. I'm never going back to Canada. And then she pops back up there. I'm never going back. Let me fix that for you, Foodie. I'm never going back unless I'm forced to go back. And you were forced. You had to go. To save your own skin, you had to go back.
I don't want to even go there. Like, I have so many bad memories there. It's just, no. I'm not.
Why do you have bad memories? You lived exactly the way that you wanted. Nobody told you what to do. You did precisely what you wanted at every given second. Show me a moment or an hour or a day when somebody forced you to do something you didn't want to do. I'll wait. You lived by your rules, by your urges, by your impulses, by the cravings with your addictions. You did what you wanted to do. So if you have bad memories, it's because of the life that you designed for yourself while you were there. And that's your fault, because it could have gone a different way. But you chose your own path. So if your path was unhappy, that was completely by choice, not by somebody else's choice, Foodie. So many bad memories. Stop it.
I'm going to Canada. Fuck Canada. I have such negative feelings of the people in Canada.
Why? I watched you for the longest, Foodie. I never saw anybody tear into you. I never saw you walk the streets or going anywhere and people were rude to you or bullying you. So why do you feel the way that you do about people in Canada? Like, what's up with that? It seems like the people in Canada are very nice. What's your deal?
Like, just the biggest trash. I really wish my family...
Ma'am, stop. You're calling people who are in Canada trash? No. No, I don't think the Canadian people are trash. You are the trash.
I didn't have to live in that shithole. And a lot of the people are shit.
No, they're not. There she is, bad mouth in Canada. There she is doing it. Blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to her, Canada. She's just talking a bunch of nonsense. Don't listen to her. Consider the source. She's trash. All right, moving on. All right, y'all lean into this. Remember what I said about her continuing to do cameos? Here you go. So, Bored Potty Mouth says daily contribution. Chantal is still starving as she is still fulfilling cameo requests. So, Here's the screenshot. So she did a cameo that was less than 2 minutes long at 10:59 a.m. Chantal, are you really charging people $30 for a video that's slightly over a minute long? That's highway robbery. You're ripping people off. Shame on you. I hope they get their money back. But there you go, 10:59 a.m. So she is still active. She's doing cameo stuff. All right, here's some words of wisdom from Psych Wizard saying there is a Japanese legend that says if you get on the wrong train, get off at the nearest station. The longer it takes you to get off, the more expensive the return trip will be. Very wise words. Very wise words. I like that. Universalist says, it's funny how easy you forget about Chantal when she's not around. Yeah, isn't that weird? We forget about Chantal when she's not around. She is forgettable. And even though I'm a reactor to Chantal, I am enjoying the quiet. You guys know what's going on with me. I got to move soon in like, 6 days? Like my move is getting ever closer. So that's where my head is. So I'm actually glad that Foodie is taking a break because I got to focus on other things. It's important. But I know what's coming. I know what's coming. Like this is the quiet before the storm. But once the storm starts up, it's going to be bananas. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. All right. So let's enjoy our time away from Foodie. She's going to get bored. She needs money. She's going to pop up at some point. Just let her cook. Let her cook. She's going to come out of the gate hot. I promise. All right. Wholesome Moments. Hippo dive. This is the greatest thing you will see this weekend. So y'all check out this hippo. This hippo has grace. Look at this perfect dive by this hippo. I give that hippo a perfect 10. It was very fluid. It had style. It was just very graceful. Nothing awkward about it. Well done, hippo. Well done on that dive. And yes, I know everybody. Neo Tarot has done another reading on Foodie and Salah. I'm going to react to it. I'm just waiting a while because she just released it like 4 or 5 hours ago, but it's on the way from me. I just like to be polite and wait. All right, you guys want to see some of Foodie's sock accounts? Let me show ya. So Hey Girl Hey says Foodie Beauty still thinks she's being sued and not criminally charged. So here's this comment that Sarah Lee, aka Foodie, left. This person, Zingcat, says, I have no idea where she is. I just think she's going to try as hard as she can to convince everyone this whole event was something different than it was. And that's why she's being so good at not appearing on camera right now. Here's Foodie right below that, saying she is not appearing on camera because that's the last thing one would do after being sued. So rule number 1, Chantal lies. But rule number 2, Chantal tells on herself. She's telling on herself here. She's absolutely telling on herself. That is her. That's Foodie. That's Foodie. And she's also proving by making comments like that she does watch all the reaction channels. She's not going live, but her eyes are all over Twitter and they're all over YouTube. Like, look, she's on Milk Tea's channel, bothering poor Milk Tea. Leave Milk Tea alone, Foodie. Stay out of everybody else's business. And another thing, you're not being sued, Foodie. You're being charged. There's a difference. Kuwait is not suing you. They're bringing up criminal charges because you broke the law. And here's another sock account, courtesy of Perfectly Imperfect. Possible Foodie Beauty sock account. The account was made 1 week ago. Here's another one. JC Sugo. And here's a comment that Foodie, JC, made saying, why are people so obsessed with her? Why are you so obsessed with us, Foodie? Why are you so obsessed with the reaction channels? Why are you leaving comments on the reaction channels? Why are you going to the tarot channels and leaving comments? Why are you in the live chats? Why are you bothering people? You don't have to. Didn't you say before that you were done with the drama? I guess not. I guess not. You're keeping an eye on things to see what people are saying because you just can't help yourself. And I bet you are super dehydrated for attention because your social interaction is limited to the internet. And if you don't get your fix, you start to go nuts. And I bet right about now, you're a nightmare to your family because you aren't getting attention. I bet you're acting like extra like a brat. There's her comment. Why are people so obsessed with her? Ma'am, you're the one with the obsession. You won't leave us alone. We're just doing our reacts. You don't like them. Don't watch. All right, here's the update on Bruce, courtesy of Pause Kuwait's Instagram. I know this is like small type. Let me read it for y'all. Update on Bruce, his siblings, and their sweet mama. Remember this beautiful little family we rescued not long ago? Today they were taken for a full checkup to make sure everything is in order before their upcoming journey. The vet advised they will be admitted for 3 days for observation and basic care, just to ensure they're healthy, settled, and ready for the next step of their lives. We're doing our best to make sure they travel safe, healthy, and happy. Grateful to everyone who's been supporting their journey so far. Your kindness is helping them reach a better future. We'll keep you posted with more updates soon. So for those people who are wondering, how is Bruce? How's Bruce's mama? How is his sibling? Sounds like they're doing pretty okay and they're getting prepared for a nice long trip to the States. I think that's fabulous. And here we go. Bored Potty Mouth. She did another cameo, y'all. Look. She did another cameo. This one's got a different time on it. Yesterday at 2:39 p.m. So that's 2 cameos she's done. Yep. And this one was also like 1 minute and 18 seconds. So she's barely making any money right now. And I posted this. A Foodie Beauty is back to doing cameos. Look at the date on the newest one. I think she's back in Canada. Come out and play, Foodie. So look at the review. Saturday, July 7, 2025, saying, such a good gift. I loved her response to my boyfriend for his birthday. He's going to love it. So she's all over Cameo right now, I think, because that's all she could do. She's avoiding YouTube. So what are the chances that she is staying with mom and dad and they told her you absolutely positively cannot stream over here? You can't stream in the house, Chantal. We forbid it. We don't want to be harassed. We don't want people contacting us on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. You want to stream, you got to get out. You've got to get out. I don't think they're even going to let her stream in a car away from the house, because if she shows herself streaming in a car back in Canada, the family's going to get contacted anyway because they're going to put everything together. So they're like, you want to stream? You got to get your own place because we don't want the heat that comes with you. All right, something not Chantal. MM says, after the absolute evil we saw Foodie and the baby kitten, your timeline deserves a cleanse. Aw, look at this innocence right here. We got a puppy playing with a butterfly. Innocence and innocence. That is the sweetest thing ever. Look at the baby puppers and the butterfly. That's so cute. I'm Your Huckleberry says, interesting that these 2 replies were recently approved on Foodie Beauty's last post, especially the top one. There, my daily check-in at the speculation station complete. So blowing this up, Drek says, so you're in Canada. When can we get an update on if Salat is okay? And here's Foodie with another one of her socks saying, how did you find out? This person says, go live, WTF. She says again, she needs a break. Nah, she doesn't need a break. She's had a break forced upon her. She's waiting for the other shoe to drop to see what criminal charges are going to be pressed on her and what the end result will be. And until then, she's keeping her head down. So hi, Foodie, with your other sock account. Girl, you got more socks than shoes. Meow Meow says, I don't care if I have to live on the street in Canada. I'm going to do it. No, you won't. You won't live on the street, Foodie. That's a hard life. Trust me, you don't want nothing to do with that life. You wouldn't know how to make it. You're far too soft. You don't have any survival instincts. What are you talking about? Sit down and shut up. Care Bear says, Girl World, if this truly wasn't a picture of Foodie Beauty, if this wasn't a picture of her, why would the person take it down? That's the question. It might have been her, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Foodie in the picture, but the family, I'm sure, knows about Girl World and they don't want to be contacted. So they thought, to stop the talk, let's just take the picture down. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure, what's happening with Foodie. We just have to be patient, Girl World. Let's just be patient. Enigma 2025 says she was never that shy about hiding her chins at the beginning like she is now. She even showed it. So why did she stop and become less confident than she was in Canada? The beautiful nature of sand. There's nothing there, no beauty. Yeah, this is Foodie back before. I think this was done in the beginning when she first got to Kuwait. But she's gained a lot of weight since going over to Kuwait. Like she's put on at least 150 pounds or more. She put on quite a bit of weight. And the more weight she gained, the more she became self-conscious about it, shy about it. Like the bigger that she got, the more she tried to cover up. But once upon a time, she was okay with showing the chin. Let's see. What else we got here before I... Oh, here we go from Yog. Those little jumps. Look at that little floofy butt. Look. Look. Look at the floofy butt. Tail up in the air. Floofy butt. And this. Sometimes the cat distribution system works in mysterious ways. And there's content that'll heal your depression. Sometimes the cat system works, but it brings you a cat that acts like it doesn't like you, but yet it won't go away at the same time. So this man and this cat have this unique relationship where he feeds them, but every morning the cat comes by to swat at him. It's very strange. Like the cat system brought him a frenemy. Oh my God. It's like it's like a routine with these two. It's funny. It's a ritual. Content that'll heal your depression, mini biscuits. Guys, I am convinced that every cat, they had another life before they became a cat. I'm convinced that all cats, once upon a time, were bakers because they all do the air biscuits. They all make biscuits. So, I don't know. Maybe the air biscuits are like a leftover thing from their past life. That's just how I feel. More from content that'll heal your depression. Oh, look at the kitty and the flower petals. That's pretty. All right, I think I showed that. Content that'll heal your depression. Mom trying to be a mom in the middle of a cat nap. So mom is stressed out. She's like, what are you even doing? Why are you even up there? Get down. Like I'm over here trying to eat my catnip. Why are you even climbing up the wall? Get down. Mom has no idea what baby is doing, but she doesn't like it. Aw, happy puppers with this smile. Look at that. How can you feel bad today looking at that smile? Hey, the pretty boy. Oh, post of cat. She's making blueberry muffins. I never knew that cats like blueberries. Is this a thing? There must be something special about those blueberries because the cat just can't get enough. All right, I think we're done here. I think we're done with the catch up. I just want to stay caught up because I know she's gonna go bananas. That's just what Foodie does. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the Twitter peeps. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.